2026, and you're listening to the Tech Addicts podcast. Brace yourself. This week, the Pebble Bee Halo, Amazon bricking devices, the Red Magic Gaming Tablet 5 Pro is coming, Fuzzy Audio Myhre Air CD player looks delicious, and the Trititra TTT series is remarkably cheap. I'd save that for the podcast and put it in. Hello and welcome to the Tech Addicts podcast. We're back for another week with thrilling stories and excitement as we've never done before. I am joined, as I normally am, by Mr. Ted Salmon. Hello, Ted Salmon. Would you be there?
I'm here for season 2, episode 2. This season thing is very American, isn't it? We should be saying series 2. It's frightfully British, you know. Series 2, episode 2.
Yes, I suppose. I've never thought of that. I believe it was you who put the seasons in at the top, so we'll have to blame you. But thank you for coming up with such a great resolution.
Weather report is that it's blazing sun now. It looks like this is the beginning of the onslaught of heated summer, so just be ready for me to complain on every podcast about it.
No more than usual then. Yes, there isn't a cloud oh no, there's one over there, a wee one, but I can hear the birds tweeting. I have the skylight open because it was getting quite warm up here, and I'm looking forward to a nice summer. It would be great. I wonder what El Nino and La Nina have in store with us for us this year.
Oh dear, very tricky.
So, what's coming up on the show this week?
Pebble Bee Halo, a personal safety tracker with siren, strobe, and live location sharing.
We're also talking about Amazon, who are going to discontinue support for older Kindles starting May 20th of this year.
We're heading east then for Red Magic Gaming and their new tablet, which is the 5 Pro, which has been confirmed for a global release at some point, but initially in the Far East in April-May.
You can get excited about the Fuzzy Audio Myhre Air CD player, which revives your CD collection for the desktop hi-fi.
And finally, we can try to pronounce this word together. Trititre's TTT series, minimalist audio devices that double as ambient design objects, which sounds exciting. All this coming up soon.
We also have the bargain section too, which has got loads of goodies for you to buy if you have available funds, which seems to be more of a rarity these days. But first we're going to go into some feedback. Jim Foyle has written in saying, "Great show, chaps. I picked up one of those screenless trackers from PSC Classifieds. It's an Amazfit Helio Band. Initial impression is that it's pretty good. For me, who likes health and fitness data, it allows me to wear my dress." It allows me to wear my dress watch when I go out and still collect ambient data. You have to be mad, of course, but he is. Thanks, Jim, for feeding back. This was of a story we were talking about with the Whoop technology being brought into Google's new fitness band that has no screen, so you're running blind whenever it comes to recording your data statistics. But it's good to hear that Jim likes them without a screen and wears a dress. Ted.
Yes, indeed. Harry Myhre is next on the air fryer, which we were also talking about. One of our high street department stores does demonstrations of cooking devices every so often. I would want to see one of those in action and taste a sample before I bought one. There was me on the last show kind of saying that everyone's got one and tell me I've got to have one, and you said you've got one and it's great, and everyone that's got one says it's great. But I'm with Harry. I think I'd want to see one, or watch a friend using one or something before I was to shell out on it.
After the last show, I did walk downstairs. I'm in my garage at the moment upstairs, and then downstairs there's a wee utility room, and I have my coffee machine there. And as I walked past the coffee machine, I thought, there's the air fryer that's not there. Where's the air fryer?
Oh.
I don't know where it's gone. And I then instantly forgot to ask my wife where the air fryer's gone, but there was one there. But she might make a liar out of me if she's gotten rid of it.
Oh dear, she's given it away. That's no good.
Yeah.
When you say your coffee machine, is that a drip coffee machine like the 1978 one, or is it a proper Sage posh one?
It's a Gaggia bean to cup thing.
Yeah, right, okay. I was thinking the only reason I ask is it's kind of tech related, I suppose. Is that I was remembering those old Melita ones from the 70s when they first started coming across, and I was thinking to myself that'd be quite neat to have one of those again, going back. But then I also remembered how if you don't drink the coffee quick enough, it kind of goes stale really quickly. Like in a hotel. In a hotel dining room or something, you got to get in there first for your coffee, or it's a bit crap.
No. It's a good old-fashioned bean to cup. It's not as fancy as Aidan Bell's. I don't know if anyone knows, but Aidan Bell has a coffee machine. I'll just get that gag too. But it's half the price of his, which is still significantly expensive.
Yeah, because his was £2,000. Well, it should have been. He didn't pay £2,000 for it, but it was on special offer. But it was almost £2,000 worth. Ridiculous. My one is the basic Sage one, which is you can buy them for 600 or 700 quid or something. And he sold that to me when he bought his new one, and I use it every day. It's great. It's fine. I just kind of fancied a bit of nostalgia with one of those drippy ones, but I'll probably get past it.
You know what I quite like is one of those ones the Americans use. You see them in the movies where they've got like a stainless steel skirt underneath it, and they set it on the gas, and they heat the coffee through it. I've never used one of those, but maybe there's something to that, because I know Americans tend not to have kettles.
Don't
they
they?
use those sorts of things instead. They heat the water on the stuff. I'm painting Americans with a very wide brush there, but I remember hearing someone ranting about how Americans don't use kettles, and it's very much an outside of America type thing. Now we're going to get a flux of Americans. Well, I use kettles. I'm not a barbarian.
What are you talking about?
They use their range or whatever, their stove to heat the coffee perculatory type thing. And I've always wanted to have a go with one of those. Maybe I'll try and pick one up off Amazon and see what'll work. See if it's any good.
I've got a feeling there's one in the garage. Somebody in my...
An American or a coffee machine?
Somebody in our household, probably my late mum at some point, bought one and had a go with it. I'm sure there's one in the garage. I'll see if I can find it when I'm next there.
Yeah, and record your experience and send it over to me and let us know if this is the must-have thing, because they can't be terribly expensive.
No.
Good coffee.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
The Turks would use them as well. Turkish coffee can be made in these sorts of things as well.
Right. I wouldn't know how to use it, mind you. I'd have to find out.
Okay. Well, that can be a particularly techie thing for us to work out over the next couple of weeks. Yes. How to use a de-techicalized coffee machine. All right, well, we'll jump into the first story which you were telling us about, which was the Pebblebee's new personal tracker. Pebblebee has launched the Halo, a compact personal safety tracker that combines location sharing, a loud siren, and a flashlight into a single keychain-sized device priced at only $60, which sounds like a pretty cool thing to have, and it's not massively expensive. It's going to be £55.28 here, according to this article, which makes me think that they've just thrown it into a money converter. And it'll be available from Pebblebee's online shop from select retailers around about the 7th of April, which was 5 days ago. It's got a pull-apart mechanism which triggers a 130 decibel siren. It's got a 150 lumen strobe flashlight and a real-time it's got real-time location sharing built into it, with up to 5 trusted contacts in safety circle support. It also has a silent alarm as well, which is a rapid button that where rapid button pressing sends a discreet alert to the safety circle without activating the siren or strobe. So if someone breaks into the house, you can do that without alerting the burglars when Ted's watching The Strangers or something like that. It works with both Apple's Find My Device and Google's Find Hub, and it's got a battery life of up to 1 year. It's got a subscription service as well, which goes from free to a 12-month alert live plan that's required for live location sharing. And it seems like a pretty good thing to maybe equip your kid with, or a family member who might be going somewhere precarious and just needs a little bit of safety, but not too much safety. It's better than giving someone a gun, that's for sure. Ted, what do you think of this?
I think it looks brilliant, and I want one. And I think that hanging one off my dad's belt or something would be absolutely brilliant. But by the way, on their website, Pebblebee's website, it says £54.27 or £92 for two, which then makes it 46 quid. And if you buy three, you get one free. So it's 162. So that makes them about 40 quid each. But the thing to say is that after the first year of the subscription, it looks like it's going to cost about 20 quid a year after that to keep the subscription going. And if you don't keep...
Per unit?
Good question.
Probably is.
Yeah.
It'd be sensible. Yeah. Or maybe there's a deal where if you've got three, you can get for 50 quid or something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But that would need looking into. And yeah, it looks like it's USB-C charging, even though it says the battery will last for a year. I mean, the battery lasting for a year will depend on how much sirening you do and flashlighting you do, isn't it? It's not going to last a year if you constantly use it. But it does look like it's rechargeable with a USB-C, so that's really good. It's got an app to support it. It's water resistant. As you said, it's got a silent mode. I'm not sure how good the torch on it will be, but there you go. And I just think that this is a brilliant idea. And if I was a vulnerable person out on the streets and not 6'3" and built like a brick shithouse, I would be reassured by having something like this. And all you've got to do is pull the end off it, and it just goes berserk. Looks great. I'm really impressed, and for 40, between 40 and 50 quid, basically, I think that's a real good deal. I think that's a great find. Whoever found it, as he rubs his chest with a medal.
Yeah, well, I do take one issue with it, and not with the actual product, but the description of brick shithouse. I've just put that into Google Images, and what's come up, I wouldn't relate to you.
Yes. All right then, like a redwood tree trunk.
Okay, right. Yeah, sure. Big and wooden. Fair enough.
Yeah, they do look good though. I'm really impressed with this, and I was expecting it to be about 100 or £100 plus, but 40 quid. You think, yeah, that's really good. Everyone should have one.
No, I fully agree. Where someone makes good use of an air tag or smart tag, this is it kind of on steroids, and it combines together. I know a lot of people who use, is it Life 360 or something like that, to keep track of their kids whenever they give them a smartphone. So this way you don't have to give them a smartphone. If they're going to school and the school doesn't allow smartphones, give them this. That makes perfect sense. There are images of people clipping them onto their school bags, and it means that you can track their school bags if it's ever stolen or lost or what have you. So yeah, it's a very sensible solution, and hats off to Pebblebee for putting so much together into hopefully what's going to be a bit of a useful family gadget.
Let's see if the
prices don't go up.
Let's see if they'll let me order one, or if it's some date in the future. It does look as though they're going to let me order one. Yeah, pay now, Google Pay, and it comes with free a 5-pack link labels, whatever link labels are.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, it looks like you can buy it now.
Right.
Mm.
Link labels. Weird. All right, moving on to another story. This is about Amazon, who are going to stop support for the Kindle devices released in 2012 or earlier, rendering their functions unusable after May the 20th, 2026, through existing downloaded existing downloaded books will remain readable. Cool Smartphone have covered this, although I take issue a wee bit with their headline where they're saying that they're bricking classic Kindles. That's not the case. They are just removing the Kindle store from them, or access from the Kindle store from them. And all of your information that's on that Kindle will remain, and you can continue to use it. You just can't put new stuff on it, which is a bit of a shame. So if you have a Kindle, download all of your books onto it quickly.
You can sideload. If you've got a cable, you can sideload stuff onto it after the date. I just thought I'd mention that.
Oh, fair enough. That's a good point. Devices affected include Kindle Keyboard, the Kindle 4, and other pre-2013 models. After the cutoff, users can no longer buy, borrow, or download any content directly from the device. So where Ted's saying sideloading, you can go and get it online, I suppose, download it and put it in. So it takes away just a little bit of efficiency, I suppose.
Well, I suppose so. And of course, the battery won't last forever.
True, yes, yeah, that's right. Factory resetting and unsupported devices will be prevented from re-registration, effectively turning them into a coaster, they say, which I don't know that that's quite right. I'm sure there's some solution out there, because there's millions of these devices out there, and someone somewhere will come up with a very nice open source solution to be able to do something there. Amazon offers 20% discount on new Kindles and ebooks for those who are affected by these, which is, I suppose, it's a wee bit better than just ignoring them. They could have ignored people, and other companies have done that whenever they make things obsolete. But 2012 is quite a long time ago, so I don't think too many people are going to be really upset about it. It's more the elderly, where... No, but if you think about an elderly person, they've come to terms with how this works, and having to replace this with a newer device that has different controls and things like that might be a lot more difficult for them to come to grips with. You know, I've got a mother who's 82, and she is okay with an iPad, but every now and again things just get a wee bit more complicated, and whenever a new update downloads and Siri becomes a bit more prevalent in the iPad, and she presses a button, it comes up, I have to get into my car and drive around and show her how to get rid of Siri, which is a bit of a pain. So, you know, elderly people who rely on their Kindle to be able to read the books that they've collated over the years, they might have struggles with newer models, and getting to work out how exactly they work. So it could affect some folk, but it certainly doesn't brick them. Ted, you've got a Kindle, don't you?
No, I haven't. My dad has, though. I was laughing because Ian Furlong, who penned this article for Cool Smartphone, who is incidentally a member of all of our MeWe groups and an active member. In fact, he's been he's been on PSC a few times as well. But anyway, I was laughing because I was hoping Ian wouldn't take offence and think we're saying he must be an old person, which he isn't.
No. I was more worried that he might take offence at me saying that the headline is a wee bit fear-mongery, but Ian, it's fine. I'm that jumped up tech addicts prick, so yeah.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you, I think. I mean, it just so happens that Ian is a lifelong, regular, committed Kindle reader. And, you know, fair enough, it's going to impact him, no doubt, because he's got some of those old Kindles. But he's the only person that I know that has got anything this old. Even my 89-year-old dad has got a I don't know, 2022 Kindle or something. And he's the least techie person in the whole universe. So I think Ian probably is, except an exception. Except, as you say, perhaps some of those old people who like their keyboard particularly. And I do remember those keyboarded ones. They were actually very nice to use, in a way. Yeah. So the bottom line, Ian is saying, is that you can, if you know what you're doing, you can still use it, get stuff onto it, sideload stuff. If you know where to get EPUB books and PDFs and stuff, I think you can still do it. But as you say, most people are not going to be techie enough with things this old to do it, except Ian.
Yeah, yeah. So it does affect a certain amount of customers, but I don't think it's going to be as many customers as we fear. Okay, next up is the Fuzzy Audio Myhre CD player.
Woohoo!
It is Myhre, isn't it? Myrak, which is it's a new CD player that is desktop focused, and it's a component that plays CDs. Believe it or not, it allows you to rip them to lossless WAV format, and it doubles as a DAC and a headphone amp, and it's only $140. It looks pretty damn good as well, and that's what really caught my eye, because this looks like something you're going to want sitting on your desk to help you resurrect your CD collection, because don't throw away your physical media.
Too late.
Yeah, it's designed to be fixed to a desktop unit, and it's got a transparent top-loading CD tray, and it's got a nice wee OLED display on the front. It features, let's get this right, it's a CS43131 DAC, and someone out there is going to go, ooh. It also has a TPA 6120 headphone amp, which will also get a
ooh.
Or perhaps I wish it had been a 6121 instead. They're better. And it supports up to 16 bits, 96 kilohertz, with 124 decibels SNR for clean, detailed sound. I'm not just reading that off the screen. It includes an ESP vibration protection, and it's got optical output for external DACs and a USB-A for ripping CDs to your computer. I want one of these. I do. I've got it added on to my basket in Amazon, but I don't think it's actually been released here yet. But I seem to remember yesterday finding a listing for it somewhere. But yeah, I like the look of this.
It's got a remote control as well. What's that slidey thing on the right-hand side of it? An orange slider. Unless that lifts the lid up, does it?
That's what I was thinking that it does. Yeah, I can't see any videos of it just yet of how it operates. But yeah, I that's what I attributed that to, and I would love to see it if it does.
Except that if you look at the front of it, above the screen, there's a little finger lifty thing, which might suggest that it's not for that. I don't know. Anyway, there's an orange slidey thingy on the right, and I love this. I'm in the queue with you, because this is worth starting to buy CDs again for, even though I don't own a single CD. But having this on your desktop, you're quite right. It'd be really cool, and physical buttons on it, and loads of connections on the back, so you can plug speakers.
You know what the slidey thing?
What?
The slidey thing's the volume.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. We should have thought of that, shouldn't we?
Ooh. And I wonder if you adjust the volume, does it move itself as well? If you were to use your Bluetooth headphones or something like that, or if you've got
availability and pricing, $140. But yeah, have you clicked through to see if you can order one?
I'm on Amazon, but maybe it was Amazon.com. I found them on.
It won't let me. It won't let me change the thing from USA. So presumably, yeah, it's America only for now by the looks of it.
Pants.
Balls.
Pants, indeed. Yeah. Well, I might be going out to America in a couple of months, so I'll maybe
Or you
order
you
one.
can buy a kit, look, with the Fosse Audio ZA3 amp, and it's £399 then, and some cables as well. Um,
Mm.
Loads of connections on the back though. Oh, there's some pictures here of it open. I hadn't seen that. So that's open. Yes, yeah. I like this.
It's just a nice wee size that, if you obviously you're not going to have a vinyl player that fits in with this, so you're not going to be able to achieve that 1980s and 90s tower system. But where someone just wants a CD player and a DAC, this is it.
And all those
This
connections
is
on the back. USB. There's a USB A. There's an optical output that you normally have with your telly. There's a USB C standard power input.
power.
It only works if you've got it. It's got no battery in it, by the way. It doesn't work unless it's plugged into the power. But there's an line output as well. I like this. Oh dear.
But you'll have to go and buy some CDs, so it's a very
Yeah.
expensive unit for you.
Yeah.
Whenever you have to, whereas I've got a nice CD collection sitting over there, but no CD player that I'm happy enough to put these into. I've got a shit mini system from Sony with a broken speaker, and I got a free one cut from was it AWAI. I can't remember what they're called. There's
Iowa.
one down there as well. Yeah, which I've never used.
Iowa. That takes me back. Iowa. It's AIWA, isn't it? Iowa.
Yeah. I bought it at an auction. It came with some other stuff that I wanted, and I was like, well, I'm not going to throw this out. You never know. The cables might come in useful.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice looking. I think that's a winner. I want one of those, and I think you do too, listener. Right, next up is the Red Magic Gaming Tablet 5. This Red Magic has gone and confirmed its next gaming tablet, which is going to be launched in April or May in China, with a global version expected a few months later, likely June or July, because they're a few months later. See how I worked that out?
Very clever.
Yeah. The announcement was made by the general manager of Red Magic via Weibo, and was it Notebook Check have a couple of images of what to expect, but there's no actual images of what the unit is going to really look like. The global version may carry a different name though, similar to the Red Magic Gaming Tablet 3 Pro, which became the Red Magic Astra.
Oh yeah.
Whenever it was released, and expected upgrades will include an OLED display, a high refresh rate, and advanced PC grade cooling with a new UI as well. No pricing yet, but I'm sure there will be pricing closer to the time of its release. Can't believe I just said that out loud. I did, and I apologise. Ted, what do you think of this?
It's worth clicking through to the link in the link to the tablet, the 3 Pro from last year. Is it last year? Yeah, last year. To give you a kind of idea of what it's about, which they don't really give in that first unlinked link. And the last year's model has got a Snapdragon 8 Elite. It's got an 8,200 milliamp hour battery, and it was pricing at about, by the looks of it, £700, depending on how much storage you want on it. There is a version at about 500, but the top one is about £700, which is I'm doing a bit of maths in my head there. And it's got a 8.8 inch display. They're comparing it with the Legion Y700 fourth generation. They reckon it's a bit smaller than that, which is nice. We're always banging on about having tablets that are Nexus 7 size, and this is the line I think that they probably are going along. And so even though there's not much firm detail about the new one, it might be worth, as I say, just checking the link to the old one, because it's probably not that dissimilar. Do you think?
Yeah. I'm most interested to see what kind of thermal optimization that they put into this as well, because I think whenever it comes to tablets and phones, that's really interesting. I quite enjoy seeing teardowns where they pull out these tiny little heat sinks and fans and all sorts of things that they put in for the the esports and stuff like that, or the Fortnite players who want to have it on their tablet. And the Chinese are so good at minimizing the technology, and it's almost like whenever you see a micro machines or something like that, a cute little version of something, you have you've got PC parts inside of this that are just oh so wee and cute. What are you watching?
Sorry, I just tap. I'm always doing this. I swipe away a notification on my phone, and instead of swiping it, I actually touch it. And in this case, it was a YouTube video, and it starts playing. And I didn't mean to touch it. I meant to swipe it away. Do you find that with some phones?
No, because I'm not really old. But these things happen, and perhaps we'll get you a wee stylus that you can use with your phone.
I've got one of those. I got it last week, but it's the wrong phone. That's what I need to do. But it might be. You're quite right though. It might be an age thing. It might be the fact that I'm losing all the fingerprints on my fingers, and it doesn't grip it like it would for you. Anyway, moving on.
Yes, let's get away from this as quickly as possible. I'm not going to be ageist anymore because I am of a good age now as well. Not as spring chicken that I used to be. Right, Tritetri. No, it's got tit in the middle, so I'm going to overpronounce that bit. Tritetri. The TTT services. Minimalized audio devices that double as ambient design objects. These are pretty gorgeous little cassette players, CD players, and vinyl players that they put together. It's a sculpture module and an ambient capable device. Ambient capable devices that blend high definition audio with intentional interior design. That sounds chic. The TTT LP3 vinyl player features a CNC machined aluminium wireless charging wall mount capability. I'm exhausted talking about this already. And diffused ambient lighting panels that glow during playback. That sounds pretty cool. It auto balances with its tone arm and supports Bluetooth 5.3 with aptX codecs. Now, obviously, this is a vertical vinyl player, so it's got some.
Doesn't have to be. You can use it flat as well.
Well, I'm thinking from the point of where this is vertical.
Yeah.
The arm obviously has to have some really smart technology in there to work with extra G forces working on it. The TTT DP3 is a CD player that adopts a UFO-inspired form it's got like a rotating transparent lid. It's got tactile controls and an OLED display. It runs on batteries and ships in May. The TTT CP3 is a cassette player. I hope you're keeping up at the back with all this. It uses mechanical piano-style keys. That sounds wonderful. With Bluetooth 5.4 for modern streaming while preserving analog tape-style characteristics. It also ships in May. And then there is the TTTW magnetic wall rack. And this is enabling a modular cable-free display that allows charging, optional speakers, because you're going to need them, IEMs, and a side table complete the ecosystem. A side table? I don't understand the side table part. There is no image of a side table. I don't know why I read that bit out. That sounds a bit ridiculous. What do you think of this, Ted? This is a nice looking selection of stuff.
It does look really interesting, and it's come from Yanko Design, which pulls out these kind of things. It is on a Kickstarter campaign, so at the moment all of the components of it are reduced, but the key idea of this, as you said earlier, is that you can use all this upright on a wall, and they'll sell you a kind of a magnetic grid thingy, which
Bracket.
yeah, that's the word, and presumably
Wall rack. That's what it's called.
Okay.
It's a wall rack.
And presumably, where they're showing pictures of this on a wall, presumably they've got the power wired in through the wall, so you don't see the power cable. But I guess you could run a cable up the wall if you needed to connect it. And then you can, as you say, you can attach the record player on one side of it magnetically, and when it's on there, it's got wireless charging. So all of these things, all these components have got built-in batteries, and if you click through the link on this, you'll see that each component on the Yanko website has been individually assessed and they do look gorgeous. All of them can be used flat on a desk as well if you want to, and they have a time away from the Qi charging pads on the wall, and there's a final Qi charging pad for a phone as well on the right hand side, which would need the Qi 2 standard to be used on the wall, or a case that does that, I suppose. There's all sorts of pricing going on here, which, as I say, it's an early bird thing. The record player, the proper price is going to be about 400 quid. The CD player is going to be about 150 quid. The tape player is going to be about I've lost that one. How much is the tape player?
It's about the same. It's £150.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, and if you jump in early on any of these, then you can get the reduced early bird pricing. But you also stand to risk losing all your money, I suppose.
But the reduced early bird pricing is ridiculous.
Is it?
Yeah, it's $400 for the full system.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yeah,
they really want.
And if you just want the CD player, it's $79, or it's planned to be $179 whenever it goes into full release mode. But to buy the full system, it's going to be $900, or you can pledge the early bird special, for which there are 1,389, and there's 25 left.
200. Yeah, you're right. 297 quid. They're even quoting it in pounds. Look, so you can buy the whole lot for 297 if you do it now.
That's ridiculous.
Really nice, isn't
Wow.
it?
Yeah, and that comes with the bracket, the tape player, the CD player, and the vinyl player.
So that's it. I've got to start buying CDs, and now I've got to start buying tapes. I've got the records.
Wow. That's really tempting, isn't it? For $400 to get this whole thing. As long as it's good.
And as long as they make it and it actually happens, and you don't chuck away 297 quid.
Well, it's got 24 hours to go. How close are they? Their goal was $3,000, and they've got 968,000 so far. So, yeah.
It looks like it's a goer.
They're well funded.
Yeah, they've got £1 million there. No, $1 million. So,
Yeah.
I think you should buy one.
It's tempting. It is really tempting.
But could you?
But I'm just thinking of where would I put it?
But could you risk £297?
Well, if you would take it from the point of view of, you're buying a full system here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need another system, and that's what I'm looking to see if what it tells you about the vinyl player. What kind of system is it? Is it belt driven? Is it direct drive?
Right, and also what sort of cartridge is on it? Because if it's like something, a £45 Amazon special cartridge, I can't imagine that they go to all this trouble and then put a shitty cartridge on it.
But then they're pricing it to ridiculously cheap.
Yeah.
That makes you think, they can't take a loss at this early stage. So unless they're just, I don't know. It's worth digging into, but it's one of those things that if only you brought this to me earlier, I could have done some proper research. Instead, there's only 24 hours to go, and things could go wrong.
They could. And of course, the other thing to remember is that none of these have got speakers. So however you want to output the sound to anywhere, you've got to use Bluetooth, or you've got to plug something in. There's no sound coming out of any of this. So beware.
Well, you can put your phone on this as well, so you could have your phone speaker blaring.
You could. Depending on how good your phone speakers are. But yeah, I think the idea is that you get some active speakers and you hook it up by Bluetooth.
Yeah. There's a conical thing that appears in a lot of these pictures.
Oh, here we go. Look, the cartridge is an Audio Technica AT3600L. Now I don't know that the actual number on that, but I do know that Audio Technica cartridges tend to be quite good. So, I think that is a good sign.
Yeah, I'm not interested to see what this conical thing is that pops up in many of the.
That's
the
a
images.
speaker.
Is it a speaker?
Yeah, and they're selling that separately if you want to buy it. Yeah.
Ah, right, okay. Fair enough. Well, I'll not bore the listeners anymore with me ooming and ahhing over that, and we'll just move on to something more interesting, because you've been twice bitten, thrice shied.
Twice bitten, thrice shy. None of you once bitten, twice shy. This is twice bitten, thrice shy. I thought that was a very clever play on words, but it's obviously lost on everyone out there. I was just going to give a bit of feedback on the being shit on by Microsoft saga, with them ditching in October Microsoft Publisher. Anyway, Affinity Publisher seems to be doing the trick. I've started to use it. I own that already, so it was probably a natural thing to do. I did try LibreOffice Draw, but it's really not got the features that a proper desktop publishing tool has got. This is because, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm the editor of a magazine which I produce every month, and I've got to have a robust publishing thingy, and Microsoft Publisher has done the job.
It's called Razzle, isn't it, that magazine?
Yes. Microsoft Publisher has done the job for me for the last, since 1842, and Microsoft have just decided to ditch it. I did try to use Microsoft PowerPoint, like you suggested, because someone is doing that as well, but it really doesn't feel. It's quite good for getting the stuff into it, but again, a bit like LibreOffice Draw, it doesn't have the same tools, and I don't really trust Microsoft not to ditch that as well at some point, regardless of what people they say that it's unlikely and what have you. The reason that it's twice bitten, thrice shy is because they've also did this to me with Front Page some years ago. They just decided that Front Page was the tool I used very happily to do my websites, and they just decided, like the same with this publisher, they're going to ditch it, and there's not enough people using it. Off you go. So that's why I don't trust the PowerPoint thing either. Regardless, as I say, of what people say, they'll never ditch PowerPoint, it's far too popular. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they might do. Anyway, I spoke at length with my printing house, and I considered the options. We all threw it back at our AI assistants. I used Gemini, and they used some other AI assistant. And we all, between us, decided that Affinity Publisher was the way to go, particularly as I already own it. And if I want to step up, the new version is a cloud-based thing, the next version of it, which is a possibility for the future. So the only downside of that is that, of course, it continues to rely on Windows. With LibreOffice Draw, you could access that from different places, particularly Linux, if at some point down the line it does that. But hopefully Windows is not going to go away anytime soon. I mean, they might make people in the future have a version of Windows that is run in the cloud, but hopefully, even if they did do that, the applications like Affinity Publisher would still work and they'd still be fine. It's just that you need to be connected to use them, which you don't now. It's a standalone application for Windows. So in Affinity Publisher, I've imported the publisher file, the .pub file, via PDF. So you first of all, you export it from the publisher as a commercial quality high graphical PDF file, and then you import it into Affinity Publisher. Now, not all of them do that. I tried to import the PDF into LibreOffice Draw, and it didn't want to know. It was just not very good. It did some of it, but it wasn't that great. PowerPoint imported it okay, but again, it didn't quite get there completely. So, Affinity Publisher, anyway, the bottom line of all this is that after me banging on about it all this time, that's the way I'm going. And I'm learning the tools, and I've got, how long have I got left? May, June, July, August, September. I've still got 6 months to train myself into using Affinity properly. So, that was my little update. Twice bitten, thrice shy.
Well, yeah. The whole publisher going away is a crazy one, because it's not something that is easily replaceable with the Microsoft ecosystem. I experienced this as well, in one of the jobs that I was working in recently, because we were doing a newsletter, and we ended up having to try and put it together in Word.
Yeah.
So that it was all set up that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's bonkers that it's just going away.
The trouble with Word is that you can do the magazine is 24-page spread. So when you submit the file to the printers, it's got to be facing pages and stuff, and it's all carefully worked out with what you save the file as and what you can see on the screen. Word is okay for doing one sheet newsletter, or even 2 pages back to back, but when you start doing a 24-page double spread thing, it just gets complicated.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with that, and I've listened to you over the years trying to find an appropriate solution, and nothing is forthcoming. But it's good to hear that you've finally sat down and taken the decision
Yes.
of what to do next, for as long as Affinity continue to support this, because obviously an awful lot of companies are going to be moving to that still print magazines. And even whenever it comes to putting together PDFs for online distribution, you need something to be able to publish something.
Yeah.
What do Dennis use? Dennis Publishing? Do you know?
What tools they use? Probably Adobe. The industry standard is the Adobe suite of stuff, but it costs a fortune. The thing here is that I already own Affinity Publisher, and it's actually really, really good, according to all these people that know. But yes, if money was no object and you were a company, you would use Adobe stuff, no question.
But whenever it comes to money being an object, which I'm sure all paper magazines today are trying to shave as many costs out of their structure as possible. So Adobe paying big money, or having to pay Adobe big money, is going to be one of the first things that you want to get around. So it might be worth having a look at another magazine to see if you can work out what they're actually using, where somewhere like Dennis Publishing maybe have already moved from Adobe onto something else, because their prices are too fucking high.
The thing that the thing that Adobe has done, which is the same as Affinity Publisher actually, is that they've tried to get people to use it in the cloud, and they charge a monthly fee for that purpose. The trouble is with Adobe, and I can't remember the name of the part of the suite that I tested. Is it something? No, I can't remember. But it's one of the tools in Adobe that is geared up for what I want, and I actually did a trial on it, and it is so bloody complicated. You know, you need to go to college or something to learn how to use. I mean, frankly, learning Affinity Publisher, coming from Microsoft Publisher to Affinity Publisher, is a leap enough for me because I've no idea what all these tools do, where they are. I've been having one side of my wide monitor. I've got Affinity Publisher up, and on the other side I've got Gemini. So, I want to draw I want to make a text box, but it's got to have an outline on it. Where do I go for that? So she then says to me, right, you click on this and click on that and go to that menu and blah 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 blah, and sure enough, it's there. So, you know, Gemini has been my training tool really in trying to get it across. But during that trial with the Adobe one, it was just like some other language, and you could see why professionals use it because they're obviously baked into it, and they probably have gone to college before they've started work because that's the industry standard, and they know how to use it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we could put it over to the listener as well. Do you have any tips or suggestions, dear listener, of what Ted could do? Do you think he's doing the right thing, or is there a better solution that maybe he hasn't entertained yet?
Oh no, not starting again. Although I have still got 6 months, so if someone did come up with a magic solution, I could consider it, I suppose.
I suppose you get people coming out of the woodwork saying, "Oh, you get a virtual machine that runs Publisher 97, and then you'll be happy."
I could do that, and what I could do also is to not let the computer that Publisher's on go online, because if you let it go online, then Microsoft on the 26th of October will update it, and it will strip out of Microsoft 365. They'll strip the Publisher element, right? But if you don't go online, if I use a one computer that's got Publisher on it already, and then whenever I want to send anything to anyone, I put it on a stick and put it into my other computer, and then let the file go from there. Yeah, if you keep the online away from it, you could work around with that way. Or you could buy a disc, which is what I think you were meaning. You could buy a CD from Publisher 2000 and I don't know, whatever, the latest version. I think 22 was the last version. Buy that disc, and they can't stop you using it if you've got the disc, I suppose. But the last time I looked, the disc was really expensive because they know what people are up to.
Wow, right, okay, yeah. Whereas you could download it from archive.org or something like that. There's no shortage of Microsoft tools, but then I suppose that would be you using an illegal copy to produce a magazine. So yeah, you can't even do that. Right, okay.
The lowest price I could find legally was 185 quid or something. I mean, they know what people are doing, and so they're cashing in, the bastards.
I've got a copy of Office here. I'll have a look and see what. No, it's over the other side of the room. If it's 22, I'll do it for £184.
Yes, thank you. I've always admired the generosity of your spirit.
Yeah, and the key's probably already been used on.
Yeah, that's the thing is, if you start digging into that route, apparently, if you've got the key for it, then Microsoft can't really ditch you out of it. But Gemini was suggesting that at some point down the line, it's only got a life expectancy of about, I don't know, 25 years or something. So, I mean, I'll probably be dead by then, so it won't matter. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I have a wee thing that I've debated putting in, but I was going to put it in because I was actually, because I mentioned it there with archive.org. I'm going to throw it in as well because I've been using the Internet Archive for quite a lot of stuff recently, be it software and stuff for my older computer, because I've got a Windows 98 computer that I very much enjoy running, and having to get drivers and stuff like that, it does become a bit of a pain. But I find that the Internet Archive, which is a website that is constantly under scrutiny from various different places, from copyright stuff, and it is archive.org, which is the address you go to. I'll put a link in the show notes. It's got a very strong web app as well that allows you to be able to use it natively, and you can use it on your phone as well, and it opens up all kinds of stuff. People are taking the time to put a lot of things on the Internet Archive that really aren't available anymore. I went looking for a particular issue of a magazine that I used to have when I was a kid. It was an old copy of Mean Machines, and I wanted to see what it said about a particular game, because I remember the wording that it used, and I wanted to see if I could get it right, because I was telling someone about it. And I went onto the Internet Archive, and I found that issue of Mean Machines, and I went and had a look at it, and read it there and then on the internet, and it was all there for me to see. And it was absolutely superb that that exists there, because I was thinking, would I have to go onto eBay and find someone who has an old tattered copy of it and buy it and ship it over, which seems a bit extreme for me to prove that someone said that this piece of shit game was really, really good. And it was there, and I used it, and it was so simple. And I just realised, trawling through the Internet Archive, just the wealth of stuff that was there. I've actually started putting things there myself, because I realised that there was actually a game, a particular release of a game on an old DOS-based game that came on one 5.25-inch disc, but it was re-released again on CD. And I have that copy, and I couldn't find a copy of it on there, and I went looking online to see if I could find a copy of it, and I couldn't, and I thought, oh, this is a wee bit of a collector's item. So I decided to rip the disc and stick it up on the Internet Archive, because the game is now public domain, but there's this release of it that some people may not be aware of. And I went through the bowels of this game on the Internet Archive and found all the weird and wonderful things that you could find, where maps had been put together, and magazine articles were all linked into the actual game. So you could find a huge amount, if you're researching something, you can find a huge amount of information on particular things. And even where I joked that Ted was editing Razzle, I decided I'll put that in the search term, and I searched for it, and whilst I didn't find the entire archive of Razzle, I have found the entire archive of Hustler from 1980 to 1989, which is available to read on the Internet Archive. I put read in inverted commas, but it just makes you think, oh my word, there's a load of smut mags on there as well. And, you know, they've got appropriate labelling so that you're not accidentally clicking on them. And I've gone on record to say that I'm searching for smut online. But, yeah, the old computer magazines are there. Old issues of PC Zone, which is a UK-based gaming magazine from way back in the day. The one with X-Wing on the cover, I had that as well. So I can sit down and read that this afternoon if I wanted to. It's such a fabulous wealth of information. Ted, I think you should get into it as well.
Surely,
there's movies as well.
Surely it's illegal, isn't it? I'm looking at it now, and someone's made available Office Professional Plus 2021, but to download it, you're ripping off Microsoft, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd say so, but there must be some sort of loophole where perhaps after a certain amount of years the copyright goes away.
Right.
I don't exactly know what it is, but given the length of time that this archive has been running for, and the amount of information that it has in it,
Mm-hmm.
is it should have been shut down a long time ago. But I don't think any one company is doing that, and it makes me think that actually, yes, some software houses probably see this as useful, because I know that I can't remember what the game was, but there was a game that was released on Steam that was a classic game that they put back out on Steam, and whenever people looked at it, they realized that what the original software house or the publisher had done with the game to make it ready to be compatible with Steam today is that they had taken I've I've forgotten what they're called, the copyright remover that people used to put into games back in the early 2000s. If you wanted to buy a pirated game, you'd get a crack. That's what it was. The crack. They had taken the crack and they put it into the game, so people were actually buying the cracked version of the game through Steam that the original publishers had put up there. It had text for an old website. I don't know if it still exists, but it was called My Burn World or My Game Burn World or something like that. And that text was in the original game that you could buy off Steam from the publisher. So they had used the pirates method to be able to get the game resellable today. So those software houses actually rely on the likes of the Internet Archive to have copies of things available that have been produced in the past to make their games work with computers out there. So where they put in some heavy copyright security, in order to remove that copyright security, they've used the pirates method, which is fantastic. It just comes around in a circle. I'm not explaining this very well because I'm kind of on the spot, but
Right.
Internet Archive is excellent for the wealth of stuff that's in there, and I'm turning to it more and more where I want to find stuff, a little bit of history on a film or something like that, or production notes, poster art, and all those sorts of things can be found there as well. If you start digging through it, you can find magazine articles and all sorts of things. It's phenomenal. But you'll find whatever it is you're looking for.
We were just talking before the show about the different versions of Dial M for Murder, the film and TV show that everyone has copied from the Hitchcock, the original 1954 film. And I've just found the 1981 version on archive.org. But it looks like the quality of it is appalling. So laying aside any stuff about software, which is where we started on this. If you download a film or presumably music or something, you've got to take chances on it being a bit rubbish to actually watch.
Well, yeah, it depends on where the source comes from, because there's a lot of things that, say, for example, a live TV broadcast, you might not be able, you're probably unlikely going to be able to find some sort of original copy of that. What you're likely going to find online is where someone had taped it.
Yeah,
And then they'll upload that to there. Because this is one of the things that I constantly go on about, is the likes of 70s TV movies, where they made a movie of something like Seamus starring Burt Reynolds. The contract for that will actually be, we'll make a movie, we'll also make a TV movie sequel which serves as a pilot for a TV series. And the TV movie pilot was shot and made and stars Rod Taylor. And you can get it because people have kept it. However, there are other movies out there that don't exist anymore. They've been lost because they were put out in the original materials have been lost. Like the Doctor Who episodes pop up all the time as being lost, and then someone eventually finds one up in their attic or something like that. But the likes of Dial M for Murder, the original negatives and things like that probably don't exist.
Yeah.
So the best copy you're going to find is something that maybe someone's either taped off TV or they've maybe bought a video of it back in the 80s when it might have been released on VHS, if it was released on VHS.
Yeah.
Not all of them are. So that's where people take it if they find it and they shove it up on Internet Archive. And it's brilliant. TV interviews, news articles, news interviews and things like that. I went searching because I know my dad used to get interviewed quite a lot back in the 80s and 90s, and I went looking for him to see if I could find some of his old Ulster television interviews and things like that, but I wasn't able to find any yet. someone might be able to do that in the future when they're going through their attic or a loved one dies and they find a big box of videos where they've taped a load of stuff off TV.
Yeah.
And then they shove it up there.
Yeah.
It's great. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have looked at Internet Archive before, but I haven't looked for a long time. So I just put in Gareth Miles, and it's throwing me all sorts of videos from your YouTube channel from like 1842. Oh, there's Matt.
Why are they there?
I have no idea. Probably Matt uploaded them, did he? Mobile Tech Addicts podcast 229. What's that? What's the date of that one? 2014.
Blimey. Although they're the video hangouts that we used to do, right?
Right. So yeah, as I was saying, that there is a lot of. I did have some fun with Internet Archive, but I haven't done it for years and years now. So good to highlight it again.
Yeah. It is, yeah. I'm going to have a wee dig through that as well. I never thought of putting my own name in.
Let's put PSC in. Phone show chat. Yeah, all the audio. Someone's uploaded all the PSC files. Perhaps Steve did.
Wow. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
or it could be anyone. I say it's probably Steve. It could be just some listener of PSC who lives in outer Mongolia who downloads all the shows because he's a fanatic and decided to upload them.
Yeah,
could be anyone.
Ted Salmon. Wow.
Yeah.
Grief. That's a bit creepy. Ooh, did you really do that?
Yeah. Ted Salmon. No, there'll be nothing of mine up there. Ted Salmon.
Not that you know of.
No, no. I've just had a scout through. There's nothing there. I'm anonymous.
Pixel Swim.
Oh, Pixel Swim. That's
Steve Heinrich.
Yeah, Steve Heinrich. He used to do Pixel Swim, and then he jacked it in. It was quite a good experiment, actually. He was doing it completely on his own. He started this podcast, and it was an audio only podcast, and it was just him. And he which was quite brave, really, because most podcasts, as we know, are more than one person. And he did last for about, I don't know, probably a year or something before he threw in the towel.
Yeah. No, I remember it happening, actually. He inspired me to try and do it myself, but I never had the balls to do it, so hats off to Steve for doing that.
Yeah.
Because I was without a host for a while, or a co-host.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good. Lots of fun to be had with archive.org, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you put people's names in inverted commas, you get better results.
Yeah, I did try that.
Anyway, right, we'll move into the bargain basement because we're running long.
Okay, first one is quite at the back. The first one is the Blue Yeti USB microphone. I had one of these. They've been around for a long time, but I've never seen one quite as cheap as 89 quid. They're very often at 99 quid. But the thing to remember about this condenser microphone is that it really is heavy. It's a huge lump of a thing, which is great because it doesn't move; it stays still. And the sound you get from it is really good. I remember, I don't know why I sold it on. I can't remember now, but I moved on. But it was really good. So that's I've never seen it. I don't think I've seen it at 89 quid before.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with this as well. I remember you said that you had it and it was sitting in a cupboard, and I think you offered it to me, but I didn't take it in the end because I wasn't convinced that this was going to be terribly easy to mount on an arm, like a Rode type mic arm, and because it was so heavy, it would probably drag it down.
But that's not the one I offered you. The one I offered you was the G. But similarly, that was a really, really heavy one as well. Yeah.
No, but that's a fantastic price, and it's a good thing to have. It's a good weapon as well.
Samsung, that was it. It was a Samsung G Shock or something. It's still here in my drawer, and it's even heavier than the Blue Yeti is. It's you could kill someone with it.
Okay, moving on. Soundcore P30i. Now, these are ones that an ex-colleague of mine bought a pair of these, and she loved them. They're reduced in price from £50 down to £23.98. They are noise-cancelling earbuds, which are strong and smart. They've got a powerful bass, 45 hours of playback, 2-in-1 case and phone stand thing, which it's a case that you can open up, and then there's a wee lip that pops up and you can set your phone on it. So if you're on a train, you can listen to things and watch stuff at the same time. They're IP54, and they've got Bluetooth 4 or 5.4 built into them, and they've got a dedicated app. And I think they're a fully fledged, decent little pair of headphones that you take with you on your day-to-day commute or whatever. And because they're £24 at the moment, if you were to lose them, no biggie, really. These are excellent. I have the bigger brothers, I've forgotten what they're called, the P90s or something like that, which are the same idea, just slightly beefier. But yeah, excellent things, and noise cancelling is very useful too. The reason why I suggested them to her was because she could put them in and just turn on the noise cancelling, not even listen to music. Just turn on the noise cancelling and filter out everyone around her, because she sat near me and listened to me warble on all day. You had to play with these?
45 hours of playtime. That's the key factor for me, I think. That's a really good long battery in there. These Soundcore batteries do tend to be quite good. No, they wouldn't suit me because they're down in your ear canal ones, so I wouldn't buy them. But I do like the blue one. I think the blue looks really nice. It's like a powder sky blue. That's a really nice colour. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, and it's quality brand, so
you
get what you pay
definitely. Talking of earphones and headphones, the XM6 headphones, Sony headphones, are now, I think, again, the lowest price I've ever seen them, and Amazon are offering me 5 months to pay. Not that I'm going to buy them, but £329, and having a look at the Keeper stats, I think, they might have been £299 at one point, but they're not often down to £329. £65.80 a month. For me, I don't need them because there's nothing wrong with my XM4s. I was using them last night again, and they're perfect, and the ANC is perfect. But if you haven't got into the line of Sony XM WH-1000XM headphones, then here's a chance, because they're as cheap as they've ever been.
Quite right, and I bought them 2 weeks ago, and I'm using them right now.
Ah, cool.
At $329, bargain of a price. Yes, I remember them dropping down to $299 at Christmas last year, but I just couldn't do that.
Right.
I had to buy a turkey and stuff like that and feed the family. So, I had to wait until Easter to do that. Next up is the DJI Osmo Mobile 8 Standard Combo. This is a gimbal stabilizer thing that allows you to set your phone on it, and you can walk around and talk to it and go urban exploring or whatever. And it keeps your phone nice and smooth. And it's only £89, and it comes with a wee tote bag and a phone holdery type thing as well. It's a good looking 360 degree pan rotation device, and it's got a built-in extension rod and tripod. The battery's good for 10 hours, which is damn fine if you ask me, and it'll outlast your phone if you happen to be recording. So yeah, go out and get those smooth shots for very little. It seems to have like a telescopic-y thing built into it as well, I'm noticing from one of the pictures. Active Track 7.0, which must be built into the DJI app, which means you can focus on someone's head, and it'll follow them as they move around, which is really quite nice as well. And because it's got 360, you could set this up in the center of your room and make a call or something like that, and tap on the person, and as you're walking around the kitchen, you can talk to people while you're doing things, which sounds awesome. But I don't know that it works in calls or whatever. But that's what I would aspire to do if I was to have one of these. But 89 quid to achieve that is dirt cheap. Absolutely dirt cheap.
These gimbals are just amazing. Whenever I see someone using one on a video, I think, no, how on earth is that doing that? It's just so clever and smart and so fast to react. And yeah, it's just like that bonkers technology. Technology gone mad, that is.
Yeah. Well, links in the show notes for anything so far. Ted, what's next?
Lee Bain Scrubber. Would you like a scrubber? So
Sounds good.
This is a lazy person's approach to cleaning. The Lee Bain electric spin scrubber probably belongs more on Whatever Works podcast than here. But even so, it does look very good. It's got a head thingy on it where you get about 9 different heads to put on the end of it, and it's got a rechargeable base handle thingy, and you just use it for cleaning. And if you want to clean the inside of a shower or something, it's got a telescopic handle on it, and you can just reach up and, as I say, it's just a lazy person's approach to cleaning. It's 29 quid from 39, so 10 quid off, and I'm very tempted because it would be right up my street, being the laziest person in the universe.
Yeah, I'm just looking. It comes with 4 heads. There's a big flat brush. There is a small flat brush. There is a pointed brush, which looks really useful for getting in the corner of the showers and things like that. And then there's a scouring brush. But can you buy those separately as well? So whenever you start to run... Oh, hang on.
The main picture shows more than 4. In fact, it shows 8.
The Lee Bin electric grill brush for outdoor. It cleans your barbecue.
Yes.
Currently unavailable. But that's a thing.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I'll be investigating Lee Bin In. Lee Bin In. B-E.
Lee Bain. Lee Bain.
Lee Bain. I'll go with that. Yeah. This is good. All right. I like these. Yeah. I'll investigate these.
Okay.
And clean everything. Everywhere.
Yeah. Why not? It turns a boring job into a bit of fun. Bit like those power washers. Get out on your patio, and it just becomes fun to clean the patio.
Yeah. I still can't find where you buy replacement heads, or do you have to buy the whole unit again whenever the head eventually starts to go?
Well, it looks to me as though you get 8.
Oh, no, found them.
Oh, how much are they?
$11.89 for a replacement kit with the pointy, the big, and the wee.
Okay.
And the scouring. So yeah, but there's more.
Ooh.
You get more in there too. There's a small cloth brush for doing the upholstery of your car. There's a wool-like brush for doing the exterior of your car, and then there's a sponge brush for doing your windows.
It's a whole kit, isn't it?
Yeah, 7 in 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Sold me. Thanks.
Okie doke.
Oh, it's to me now, isn't it? Oh, right, okay. The Wolfang wildlife camera. Now, I have a reason for this, because I featured this once before.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Ages ago. This is a trail camera that is sort of, it's got colorant to it, so it blends in with its surroundings, and you are supposed to stick it on a tree and record deer going past, or perhaps Jason Voorhees in a forest or a wood. I, however, have got one of these, and I've put it up in a horse stable, so that it keeps an eye on a horse, because it's kind of tough and robust for an inside camera. so spiders can walk across it. It can fall and poo and all those sorts of things, but it's a useful thing to have. It's a 48 megapixel 4K trail camera with 36 PCS 940 NM IR LEDs, night vision motion activated hunting camera with an IP66 waterproofing, dust proofing for wildlife recording, and it's only $29.99. It was $40, just 25% off at the moment. It has gone down to $23 at one point, but that was a warehouse deal. So 26 is the lowest that a new one has gone down to. But it's really good, and I've been looking for something to use it with for a while, and I've just noticed that there's actually the Wolfang WT06, which has a solar panel on top of it as well, because having to charge the battery is a bit of a pain. So yeah, the solar panel will be nice. Okay, but it's £76. But yeah, have you ever used a trail cam?
I remember you bringing it to the... No, I haven't, but I do remember you bringing it to the show before, and it does look really good. And I'm sure it was more expensive last time you brought it to the show, so it's gone down for sure. And yeah, absolutely. If someone has a need for such a thing, like you clearly do, then cool.
Yeah, useful. Outside monitoring is important.
Yeah.
People should do it more.
Okay, last up for this show is the Motorola Edge 60 Neo, which is a cracking little upgrade from the 50 Neo, and it's already reduced. It's hardly out the door. It's already reduced from $379 to $299, and I thoroughly recommend it. And I've reviewed it, and it's a great little phone. Really is. It's not the absolute powerhouse at $299 as you might expect, but it's got an awful lot going for it. So that's my last bargain basement, the Edge 60 Neo.
Nice one. Good looking phone.
Mm-hmm.
Very attractive pricing too. But that about brings us to the end. And in an hour and 20 minutes, that seems to be our new target for ending the show, and someone's ringing my doorbell at the moment. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can by emailing us at Gareth at techaddicts.uk. You can find me on Twitter at Gareth Miles. I've got my Mastodon and Blue Sky. I also have my GarethMiles.com as well, which has a link to my coffee link too if you want to buy me a coffee. Ted, where can they find you?
They can find me at tedsalmon.com, and all of the audio podcasts and the MeWe groups are linked out from there, which is where I spend most of my time online these days. And if you want to buy me a coffee instead of Rich Gareth, then it's at paypal.me/tedsalmon. Thank you so much.
Well, we'll speak to you all in in 1 week's time. We'll be back next Sunday with another roaring show full of nonsense and crap and under-researched topics. Other than that, take care and have a lovely week.
Goodbye.